Hi there, crafty friends. Welcome and thank you for joining me. Today, I thought we would make an Easter card. We will be using Lawn Fawn's Easter egg backdrop, along with their Scripty Easter die and the Scripty Easter outline die. So I think this is going to be super cute. Our backdrop die comes with 10 other pieces. This is an 11-piece set. But first we need to do our background. And for that, I thought we would bring in their spiffier speckles with gold foil paper because, sometimes eggs have little spots on them. And I just thought that would be super cute. So we need to cut our paper down because I really don't want to waste any of this paper. So let's get that trimmed down. And I just like to kind of eyeball it. And then we have this piece for something else. And to cut this die out nice and clean, I will be using my Empress. And we need to use a metal shim. So what I'm going to do is I've got my plates here. I'm going to put my paper down first, and then my die, and then my metal shim, and that will guarantee that I get a nice clean cut. And because this die is so detailed and intricate, it's really important that you do use that metal shim. So let's see what we got here. And it looks like that cut perfectly. You can see all the cut lines on the back. So let's just pop that out, and that is perfect. All we have to do is pop out all these extra little pieces, and it looks like most of them already came out. That is amazing. I just love using a metal shim. So I got all of those little die pieces all out of there, and I did have one little accident. I had one little piece that just didn't cut all the way through. And unfortunately, I am all out of the gold speckled in the white, so we're just going to improvise. I think I'm just going to take my scissors here, and we're just going to cut those pieces off. So we'll just see a little bit more of the egg when we do our other die cut pieces. And you know what? No one will ever know. So let me just get that trimmed up. Just like that, and then we can get started. But before we do that, I want to take my inner piece and cut out my layers. So we are also going to use the word Easter, and I want to do my outline. So instead of just tossing that large piece that came out of the middle, I am going to die cut my Easter outline out of that, and that cut beautifully, and that way I don't feel bad when I toss that because we used it. So now we need to look at our other pieces, and we need to cut out all of our eggs and our flowers and our leaves in other colors of paper. And for these, I actually already have them all cut out. I am not using this one. This one, I believe you can cut out the circles and put them behind either the flower centers or the little dots. I'm not sure, but I'm not going to use that. And for all of my pieces here, my eggs and my flowers, I am going to bring in my watercolor wishes. This is the rainbow pack, and I just love this paper. What I did here was I just decided how I wanted my eggs to go. Oops, we left one in there. I just decided which direction I wanted my eggs to go. So if you look at the die, it actually has all of the eggs going up. But I think we are going to have ours go this direction. So I needed to decide which colors I wanted to use. I just went through all my pack, and we're just going to lay out all of our eggs. I already got them all cut out, and we're just going in rainbow order. And I love that watercolor wishes paper. It has some really nice variations in there. And I also cut out my flowers and my leaves. So we just need to figure out, where we want these. And then we will go from the back and glue them on. Everything fits really perfect. So let's just go ahead and start with some of our eggs. And it's pretty detailed work. You just need to use a fine tip glue bottle, and you should have a lot of luck with that because they are small little detailed lines here. So I am just going to put little drops all along here. And then just one at a time, we will add our eggs, and they fit on there perfect. Lawn Fawn makes this so easy. And you do need that fine tip glue pen because you don't want too much glue seeping out. It will dry clear, but I don't like it when I can see glue coming through. So then we'll just move on to our blue one. So I got all my eggs added in there. Now we can do our flowers and our leaves. And just be very careful working from the back when you add your glue. Everything that I use today will be listed and linked in the description below. If you could, please be sure to give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment. I haven't been getting very many views lately, and it's just a little discouraging. So please be sure to leave me a comment and give me a thumbs up. Then we can add our other flowers. Let's do an orange one over here and our blue one on the bottom. So I got most of all of my pieces done. Now I'm just working on my little flowers here, the little itty bitty tiny ones. And you just need to be careful with these because you want to glue it down and then flip it over to look at it and make sure that you got it on there centered. You don't want to be able to see that green paper from the front. So just like that. And there we go. Just like that. We've got all of our die cuts placed from the back. I feel like every time I try to talk today, a jet flies overhead, so I have to keep stopping. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and add some foam tape to the back. I am just using my thin foam strips here, and I am being careful not to cover up those little holes because we don't want to see foam tape behind those holes. So now I'll just continue to add foam tape behind my flowers and my eggs. So I've got all my foam tape on there. Now at this point, if you wanted to, you could add this to a piece of colored cardstock for your panel, but I think I'm just going to go with the white. See, you get a different look with each color, which is really kind of neat. But that is nice. I do like that one, but I am just going to go with a white panel today. And we're just going to flip that over and then stick our panel on there. And that's perfect. And then we can bring in our sentiment. So for my sentiment, I wasn't real sure what I wanted. I've got the Easter outline here that we did out of the speckled paper. And then we've got the word Easter, and I wasn't sure. So I went ahead and I prepped 3 out of just white. And we can decide what color we want or if we would like to do gold. I was kind of thinking gold because we've got the gold speckles on our paper, but I don't know. What do you think? Which do you like best? And then I've got a little happy that I just found in my stash. Do you like the gold or do you like a color? Let's see. I've got a pink that I cut out. I really like the way the pink stands out. I do. So we'll put those aside and save those for another day. We've got our outline here. We've got 3 stacked. So let's go ahead and add our colored piece to our stacked white die cuts. And I will just go ahead and talk while I do this. So I'm super excited. I am going to be doing a class at Firefly Farm in June. I love Firefly Farm. They are my favorite craft store. They are located in Minnesota. She has an online shop, and I've talked about her before, but she does this thing called her Creative Crate, and it's a few days long. She gives you prizes for every day, and she has some great instructors. I'm a little bit nervous because I've got big shoes to sit next to. The Creative Crate for June is June 8th through 14th, and I believe my class will be on Saturday. And I will be teaching 3 cards using Pink Fresh Studio items. She's got Jen Shirkus featuring Lawn Fawn. She's got Mindy Egan using Pretty Pink Posh. And she's got Leah Lawson, but she doesn't say on her newsletter yet what product Leah will be using. So I will be next to some pretty big names, and I'm a little bit nervous. I think it'll all work out. I will have a link in the description below. I don't believe that she has the Creative Crate listed yet, but she does talk about it on her website. It's not for sale yet. It is very reasonably priced for everything that you get. And like I said, she's got some great instructors, and I go back to Minnesota every June anyways, so this will be a lot of fun. So I'm just adding my stacked die cuts to my outline piece here, just like that. So let's go ahead and add our sentiments. I will put foam tape behind those, and let's just kind of figure out where we want that placed. I've also got foam tape behind my happy, and my happy I just found from a happy birthday sentiment, and I'm just using the happy. I white heat embossed that on black. Let's bring in our T ruler here. First we got a little bit of glue there. There we go. And let's just figure out where we want this. I think that looks good right about there. I'm going to use my ruler so I can get this nice and straight. I think that's good placement. And then we can take the backing off of our Easter sentiment and add that. Let's get that placed. I might need to get my head in there. I think that's almost good. I'm not going to stick it down because I want to make sure it's nice and straight. We can bring that down just a little bit. I think that's good. Perfect. Oh, and you know what? I forgot to mention the Creative Crate for Firefly Farm. She does those virtually, so that's really, really nice. And it is just a super fun event. I will have more information on that as soon as she does list those classes for, or the Creative Crate for sale. And I will be sure to let everyone know. Let's add some embellishments. So for my embellishments, I'm going with very similar colors in my card. I've got some gems here from Pink Fresh Studio. I'm not sure what that color is, but I will look it up and have it listed. We have sky blue, peach fuzz, and bubblegum. So let's get these added. And that card is done. Super cute, super easy. And I'm loving that speckled paper. I wish I had more though, because I would have cut another frame, but I don't think you can really notice that I made a mistake cutting, taking those pieces out and accidentally ripping it. I don't think my recipient will notice. And that came out so cute. I love the one with the pink Easter, but then I also have one here that I did as a sample with the blue Easter, and those are just so cute. Thank you so much for spending time with me. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.